12 candles flicker in the ocean breeze while Northwest, Kim and Kanye's firstborn, poses on a super yacht in a boned corset, towering Balenciaga boots, and shades dark enough to hide state secrets. One swipe, millions of likes, and the internet gasps. This doesn't look like a child's birthday. It looks like a Vogue shoot that crash-landed in Euphoria. Welcome to Buzzveil, where pop culture tea meets critical thinking. Today we're asking the question no glossy magazine will print: is Kim Kardashian giving her daughter a head start in high fashion, or cashing in on North's childhood to keep the Kardashian spotlight burning? Look closer. Every expertly lit snapshot from that yacht, every brand tag, every coy half-smile, feels less like a family memory and more like a carefully crafted billboard announcing next-gen Kardashian. And it's not a one-off. Late-night TikToks and Ice Spice cosplay, tutorials by humble beauty gurus, and red carpet roasts so savage they trend before breakfast. Hidden behind the sequins is a softer focus. Does North even know where the costume ends and her own personality begins? Is she choosing the lens, or just posing for it? Tonight, we'll unpack the yacht party optics, the Kris Jenner marketing blueprint, and the warnings from a sidelined father shouting, "Let her be a kid," from the margins. Pour yourself something good, hit subscribe, and settle in, because when childhood and clout blur this badly, someone's bound to trip. Picture the scene: moonlit waves slapping gently against a chrome-slick hull, disco lights flickering across crystal-studded railings, and a 12-year-old stepping onto the deck like she's closing Paris Fashion Week. North isn't blowing out candles in a paper crown. She's cinched into a custom corset glittering like paparazzi bulbs. Her boots could pay a year's rent, her sunglasses look engineered by NASA, and somewhere off-camera a stylist whispers, "Chin up, shoulders back, perfect." Kim's phone goes live. Instantly, every angle is immaculate: golden hour that lasts all night, edits that glide like perfume ads, and brand tags lined up in the caption like sponsors at a prize fight. It's a carousel of luxury so polished you can almost smell the sea spritz setting spray. But scroll through the comments and you'll notice the shift. At first, heart eyes, fire emojis, iconic. Then, pause, threads of discomfort. A corset? At 12? Where's the childhood here? The internet's usually split on Kardashian anything, but this time the whisper turns into a roar. Why does North look ready for an editorial spread instead of a piñata? And for good reason. This party isn't just pricey decor, it's a curated narrative. The yacht isn't a venue, it's a floating billboard. Every outfit change, every champagne-colored balloon arch, every drone shot overhead says, "Witness the evolution of the brand." We're not watching a birthday. We're watching a product launch, only the product is a preteen. Even subtler cues scream strategy. The guest list is peppered with influencers twice North's age, names that spike algorithms and cross-pollinate audiences. The playlist? Current TikTok chart toppers engineered for viral clips. And the after-hours posts? Timestamped just late enough to prove North is living grown folk hours. Kim, meanwhile, stays mostly behind the lens, appearing just enough to remind us who the director is, never enough to pull focus. It's the same choreography Kris once used with Kim, only now the camera is steadier, the stakes higher, and the child younger. So as confetti drifts into the Pacific and another million likes rack up, the question lingers louder than the yacht's bass line: is this a birthday bash, or the opening act of Northwest, LLC? Because once you crown a kid the star of her own fashion spectacle, it's hard to convince the world, or the child, that the spotlight can ever dim. Step off that yacht and follow the breadcrumb trail Kim's been dropping for months, each crumb a carefully timed upload starring North, not Kim. Scroll Kim's grid and you'll notice her solo selfies slipping down the engagement charts, while any post featuring North spikes like a crypto coin on launch day. Coincidence? Hardly. Kim's cultural stock is plateauing, North's is the new growth sector. Consider the calculated collisions: North popping up beside influencers twice her age at events that scream networking more than play date. These aren't accidental cameos, they're algorithmic cross-pollination. One duet with an A-list TikToker and suddenly North's face is stitched into a million For You pages. It's marketing jiu-jitsu. Kim leverages someone else's audience to boost her child's Q-score, all while appearing like a relaxed mom letting her daughter have fun. Then there's the wardrobe timeline, a slow burn from childish graphic tees to Balenciaga goth fits, from glitter lip gloss to studio-grade contour. North's look evolves in sync with brand cycles. One season she's pastel Y2K, the next she's punk couture, each drop perfectly timed to keep fashion blogs drooling. If a grown influencer executed this pivot, we'd call it a rebrand. Because North is 12, we pretend it's playing dress up. But the brand builder's smartest move might be the messy edit. Notice how Kim peppers her feed with clips of North interrupting, roasting, rolling her eyes, tiny rebellions that make the internet lean in. Kim knows audiences love a little chaos with their couture. By showcasing North's sass, she manufactures relatability and controversy in one swipe. Fans laugh, critics fume, engagement skyrockets. And there's no clearer sign of strategy than the quick turnaround memes, GIFs and sound bites sliced from Kim's own uploads within minutes, almost as if the raw footage was packaged for virality before it even hit Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, Kim stays just out of frame, the silent puppeteer. She gives North the ring light, the iPhone, the platform, then slips into the director's chair. The message to brands is unmistakable. North isn't just a kid, she's an asset with baked-in edge, ready for sponsorships the moment mom greenlights the deal. And here's the kicker, because North is technically a minor, Kim retains total narrative control. Comments get filtered, captions get rewritten, entire videos vanish at the first whiff of backlash, digital damage control a grown celebrity could only dream of. It's brand building with training wheels. North pedals fast, but Kim steers and brakes whenever the ride wobbles. So, while the public debates whether a corset is appropriate for a preteen, Kim is busy onboarding her daughter into a corporate pipeline disguised as childhood. One viral TikTok at a time, North's personality is being coded for the marketplace, and every like, share, and stitch is another data point proving the model works. The question is, when the training wheels come off, will North be steering, or still just along for the ride? The next stepping stone on North's fast track to fame isn't couture at all, it's candor, weaponized for views. See, brand Kim has always thrived on a carefully filtered version of reality, but North? She's the unfiltered sequel, and Kim keeps rolling even when the takes are cut close to the bone. Take that Instagram live heard round the world, Kim's mid-sentence, demoing a box of PR freebies in her signature buttery tone, when North slides in with the kind of side-eye that could crack plexiglass. Why do you talk different on camera, Mom? 40,000 viewers watch Kim's face freeze like a loading screen. Within minutes the clip is everywhere, TikTok stitches, Twitter memes, morning show soundbites, and every platform tags the same moral, even Kardashian polish can't withstand a child's blunt honesty. Then came the Met Gala pre-show, a masterclass in mic drop editing. Kim descends the hotel elevator draped in strands of Schiaparelli pearls, humming with nerves and couture insurance paperwork. She turns to North for validation, only to get a deadpan verdict. It looks like it came from the dollar store. Snark casual, world class. The internet howls, late-night hosts cue the punchlines, and Kim, still clicking in those stilettos, lets the cameras keep rolling. Any other parent might cut the feed, Kim uploads it straight to Hulu. Because here's the secret, an unvarnished North makes vintage filtered Kim look human again, and humanity sells. And it's not a one-off gag. When Jared Leto arrives at the same event dressed as a life-size cat, North reduces the million-dollar mascot to cringe with a single syllable. Pete Davidson strolls by in streetwear chic. North levels him too, he looks like he's going to the gas station. These hot takes burst onto social media like popcorn, and the family's media team slices them into snackable reels before the dresses are put back in garment bags. Kim doesn't merely tolerate the savagery, she stages it, packaging North's bite as built-in personality, irreverent, unpredictable, endlessly memeable. Critics see a precocious child calling it like she sees it. Strategists see something sharper, controversy that renews itself. North's roasts give fans a dopamine hit of authenticity, while Kim retains director's credit. Every viral quip becomes proof of North's voice, momentum for future ventures, beauty lines, collab drops, reality TV spin-offs, still years away from legal adulthood. And because the quips target grown celebrities, not classmates, no one can accuse North of punching down. Instead, headlines crown her the real fashion critic we needed, converting tween sass into marketable edge. But beneath the laughs lurks a deeper calculation. When a 12-year-old publicly drags her mother's designer dress and wins the internet, the power dynamic flips. The child now wields the cultural currency. And Kim, queen of spin, seems ready to pay the price, because every cell phone she endures translates into another engagement spike, another proof point that the heir apparent can command attention on her own. Which raises the question no edit can mute, is North's unfiltered commentary a genuine spark of personality, or the next lever in a PR machine that never sleeps. If North's unscripted roasts light up the comment sections, her off-camera power moves set off alarm bells. Start with the infamous nanny incident. Reports say North didn't just complain, she fired the woman, allegedly sealing the dismissal with a bite. Anywhere else that behavior would trigger timeouts, therapy sessions, maybe a suspension from extracurriculars. In Kardashian it vanishes into thin air, a quirky anecdote recounted on talk shows with a nervous chuckle. Consequence? Zero. Message received, boundaries are for other kids. Then there's the commuter hierarchy. While St. Chicago and Psalm pile into one luxury SUV, North cruises to school solo, chauffeured like a CEO who can't risk distractions. Think about what that teaches a 12-year-old. Not only are you separate, you're superior. The drive becomes a daily sermon in special treatment, each mile reinforcing a silent contract. North sets the terms, everyone else adjusts. Need further proof? Flashback to Kim's own confession on daytime TV. She once hid in a closet to breastfeed Saint because toddler North couldn't stand sharing mom's attention. Picture that, an A-list billionaire crouching among winter coats so her eldest doesn't implode. Instead of addressing the jealousy, Kim appeased it, cementing a pattern that's still paying dividends in deference today. Individually, these stories look like rich people quirks. Stitch them together and a larger portrait emerges, a child rewarded for domination, insulated from pushback, groomed to believe that a strong will plus a viral moment equals a hard yes. Psychologists warn that unchecked entitlement in early adolescence often morphs into chronic boundary breaking, especially when millions of followers cheer it on. And here's the rub, every red flag flaps in high definition. The nanny tale, the double SUV detail, the closet confession, all shared by Kim herself on podcasts, reality episodes, and live streams. She's not just witnessing the red flags, she's repackaging them as relatable mom content, proof that raising a strong personality is hard but oh so entertaining. Meanwhile, the audience, some amused, some horrified, keeps watching, liking, commenting. Engagement climbs, algorithms smile, and the cycle reloads. So when the next viral clip shows North bending another rule or dismissing another adult, remember the blueprint. Behavior that would ground most kids instead grants North renewed social capital, and Kim renewed relevance. The scoreboard is clear, but the cost? That invoice hasn't arrived yet, and when it does, it won't be payable in likes. North's closet isn't a wardrobe, it's a product roadmap. One week she's draped in pastel Y2K fluff, the next she's stomping in head-to-toe Balenciaga goth, and every pivot aligns with Fashion Week buzz or a scheme's launch cycle. At 12, she's matching color stories more precisely than seasoned stylists, because those stylists are on payroll, curating each spontaneous look for maximum screenshot potential. Enter the makeup tutorials. These aren't cute experiments with glitter and lip gloss. They're full-scale production numbers, ring lights, editing cuts, contour lines sharp enough to slice a sponsorship deal in half. Foundation, lash clusters, ombre lip, seamless highlight, the kind of glam that sends beauty TikTok spinning. And because Kim lets North post the process, step by step, filter-free, the message is loud, even a preteen can master this beat, so what's stopping you from buying the palette? But the piece de resistance was the Ice Spice night. After bedtime, the feed erupts, North in a fire-red curly wig, crop top flashing midriff, mouthing lyrics that even radio edits can't clean. The video racks up millions before sunrise, then disappears once Kim notices the explicit words. Too late. Screenshots circle faster than a Kardashian rumor, news outlets freeze-frame the wig, and Kanye stands chant, "He warned you." Whether oversight or orchestration, the outcome is identical, viral shockwave, brand name trending, North's cachet rising. And don't overlook the twinning agenda, Kim sporting a bodycon nude dress, North echoing in a kid's cut that mirrors every seam. The pair pose hip to hip, arms crossed, human mood board for a future mother-daughter capsule line. This is mini-me marketing on steroids. Audiences absorb the look, label it iconic, and subconsciously log the idea that schemes kids is inevitable. Even the everyday street snaps feel like lookbook spreads. Paparazzi randomly catch North in chunky platform Crocs one day, vintage band tee the next. 24 hours later resale sites spike, and trend round UPS credit North for redefining tween street style. Kids who can barely tie their shoes yet suddenly beg for $250 sneakers because North wore them to dance class. Kim's genius twist? by framing these fashion moments as North's self-expression, she sidesteps criticism about exploiting a minor, positioning herself as the cool mom who lets her daughter explore creativity. In reality, every ensemble doubles as data: which colors hit, which silhouettes go viral, which accessory garners the most reposts. It's a feedback loop in real time, with North as the unspoken brand ambassador, testing, modeling, previewing. The audience thinks they're witnessing spontaneous style. Kim sees a free focus group worth millions. So when you scroll past another perfectly colored graded clip of North applying bronzer with pro-level precision, remember, this isn't just a kid playing dress-up. It's armor, designer-plated protection for a brand empire banking on the promise that consumers will follow North's evolution all the way from preteen to haute couture adulthood. And with each viral outfit, the line between marketing campaign and childhood memory fades a little more, stitched together with couture thread and sealed in a permanent, digital gloss. Slide the spotlight a few miles across Calabasas and you'll find two very different birthday scenes. In Kylie Jenner's backyard, Stormi is knee-deep in pastel balloons, chasing bubbles while a pony named Sprinkles munches on hay. No ring light, no midnight uploads, just giggles that disappear into the warm evening air. Cameras are present, sure, but they're set to mom mode, not full studio exposure. Kylie's posts arrive days later, trimmed to 10-second montages of genuine squeals and frosting-smeared cheeks. The vibe screams, document the memory, not dominate the feed. Over at Chloe's place, True is twirling on a tiny balance beam in a community center gymnastics class. The footage, when we do glimpse it, looks handheld, shaky, utterly normal. You half expected Juice Box to photobomb the frame. Chloe captions it with 3 words, "Proud of you," and hits upload. No brand tags, no hyper-curated palette. These kids appear to belong to, brace yourself, themselves. Contrast that with Kim's feed, where every shot of North feels like a double-page spread. The resolution is cinematic, the color grading consistent, the wardrobe credits flowing faster than subtitles at a foreign film festival. Even candid moments look storyboarded: North randomly painting, North accidentally riffing on the piano, North spontaneously critiquing red carpet gowns, all delivered in impeccable 4K, ready for a Hulu promo. Ask yourself, if Kylie and Chloe, raised by the same mommaker, swimming in the same fame pool, can ease up on exposure, why can't Kim? Stormi and True, though undeniably privileged, still radiate kid energy, scraped knees, frosting mustaches, unfiltered curiosity. North radiates persona, confident, confrontational, couture-coded. It's as if 2 separate parenting manuals were distributed at the family meeting, one labeled Protect Childhood, the other Leverage It. The brand contrasts peaks during family gatherings. At Stormi's parties, adults hover in soft focus while kids hog the lens. At Kim's events, the camera seeks North's face first, waiting for a zinger, a pose, a memorable moment. Even simple cousin playtime morphs into content calculus: which clip markets best, which outfit pairs with which caption, which soundbite keeps the engagement wheel spinning another turn. And audiences notice. Comment threads under Kylie and Chloe's posts fill with "so wholesome, love this innocence," while Kim's ignite debates: let her be a kid, where are the boundaries? It's proof that the public can tell the difference between a baby book entry and a marketing campaign masquerading as childhood. In short, within the same dynasty, 2 philosophies collide. One treats early years as a sanctuary, the other as a runway. Stormi and True might grow up to chase the spotlight on their own terms, but for now they're allowed to scribble on the margins. North, meanwhile, is being asked to sign the cover, pen poised, camera ready, childhood penciled in like a tentative appointment nobody expects her to keep. The one voice that never quite fits the Kardashian chorus, Kanye West, the ex-husband, the once inseparable creative partner, now relegated to tabloid snippets and court-approved visitation schedules. Long before the yacht's birthday, Ye was ringing alarm bells, loud, off-key, impossible to ignore, about his daughter's budding digital persona. North should not be on TikTok, he blasted during an Instagram rant, framing the app as a predator's playground and Kim's permissiveness as an existential breach of parental duty. Critics rolled their eyes, typical Kanye theatrics, they said, until that Ice Spice video hit, and suddenly the echo of his warnings bounced through every comment section. For a fleeting moment the narrative flipped, maybe the controversial rap icon had a point. Yet inside Calabasas, the cameras kept rolling, the uploads kept uploading, and Kim held the master password. Consider the power imbalance. On one side, a billion-dollar reality empire with full custody of the edit bay. On the other, a father who once designed stadium tours now scrambling to FaceTime goodnight calls. When Kanye speaks, it's through live stream rants fans screen record before they vanish. Kim, by contrast, embeds her viewpoint into the polished syntax of People exclusives and Hulu storylines. She's playing chess on a branded board, he's shouting moves from outside the velvet rope. But even wounded messengers can carry truth. Kanye claims North ripped couch cushions to sneak out and see him, an anecdote dismissed as hyperbole until you remember the nanny firing saga. The pattern suggests a child who pushes limits, maybe because limits are hazy to begin with. Ye frames these incidents as symptoms of overexposure. Let her be a kid, pause the cameras, set a bedtime. Kim frames them as growing pains of a big personality. 2 parents, 1 child, a public tug-of-war staged before millions. And here's the starkest warning, Kanye knows firsthand how fame rewires identity. He's lived the highs of stadium adoration and the lows of headline meltdowns. When he pleads, protect North's innocence, he's preaching from experience, an artist who's felt the cost of an audience that never blinks. Yet because his delivery is erratic, the substance gets buried under the spectacle, giving Kim cover to dismiss it as noise. Behind the glitz, a quieter battle unfolds. North's digital footprint grows with each viral clip, while Kanye's opportunities to parent offline moments shrink. Every time Kim posts another harmless TikTok, the algorithm gains ground. Every time Kanye rails against that TikTok, the tabloids chalk it up to drama. The scoreboard tilts, but the prize isn't like, it's a child's formative years. So when you scroll past Ye's next headline-grabbing outburst, listen for the subtext, a father trying to slow a publicity train he once helped fuel. Because if even Kanye, king of spectacle, believes the spotlight is too harsh for a 12-year-old, maybe the klaxon he's sounding isn't just bluster. Maybe it's the last warning echoing from the sidelines before the show goes on without a safety net. To understand why North's childhood feels more like a pilot episode than a playground, rewind 30 years to a sun-washed living room where a young Kim Kardashian watched her own life morph into primetime currency. Guiding that metamorphosis was Kris Jenner, equal parts mother, manager, and media alchemist, who discovered the formula for turning scandal into status and heartbreak into headline gold. The recipe was brazenly simple: control the camera, narrate the chaos, and own whatever the tabloids would spin anyway. Fast forward to now, and you can practically see Kris's fingerprints on Kim's parenting storyboard. Every North rollout echoes an early 2000s Kim chapter, just updated for the Reels era. The corset yacht photos? A tween-sized remix of Kim's infamous Playboy shoot, controversial attire positioned as female empowerment. The viral makeup tutorials? Recall Kris encouraging Kim to commercialize her contour routine, birthing a cosmetic empire. North's candid roasts of celebrity fashion? Classic Kris, who coached her daughters to stir the pot on Keeping Up confessionals, knowing that shade is the cheapest rocket fuel for ratings. Even the oops, leaked moments align. Remember Kim's tape? Kris pivoted that shame into the Kardashian brand launch. North's Ice Spice video? Not as explosive, but the principle's the same: instant notoriety, instant engagement, instantly spun as a teachable mom moment. Where outsiders see PR disasters, the Jenner handbook sees chapter breaks in a long-form success story. What's chilling is the generational escalation. Kris exploited her adult daughter's scandals. Kim is looping in a preteen who can't legally sign her own merch deal yet. The raw material, family intimacy, remains identical, but the extraction starts earlier, processed faster, and packaged for a digital marketplace that never sleeps. If Kris pioneered the 24-hour news cycle family drama, Kim has upgraded it for the 60-second swipe economy. And where is Kris in all this? Center frame at most family gatherings, sipping tea while the next legacy installment plays out. She doesn't need to micromanage, the playbook's already tattooed on her daughter's ambitions. Kim, having lived and profited from it, now executes the strategy with surgical precision. In that sense, North isn't just Kim's mirror, she's Kris's sequel, an heirloom brand asset handed down like a designer handbag, only much harder to put back on the shelf. Critics argue that every generation should strive to break harmful cycles, yet the Kardashian clan appears to double down, proving the model's lifetime warranty. Each click, each comment, each headline about a child's corset confirms the market demand Kris sensed decades ago. And so, the cameras keep rolling, the edits keep tightening, and a 12-year-old learns that boundaries are negotiated, naturally, in the boardroom she doesn't yet know she's occupying. The result is a dynasty where innocence becomes inventory before adolescence even begins. If you've ever wondered what legacy looks like in the age of perpetual monetization, watch North's feed. It's the Kris Jenner playbook, second edition, glossier cover, younger protagonist, same best-selling blueprint. Picture graduation day, 2029. The tassel swings right, flashbulbs explode left, and Northwest steps onto the stadium stage already booked solid, a six-figure fashion line, a reality spin-off pilot, and dueling brand retreats vying for an exclusive TikTok reveal. She's barely legal, yet her digital footprint is heavier than most CEOs. College recruiters don't send brochures, they send sponsorship decks. Paparazzi don't ask who designed her cap and gown, they assume she co-designed it. But beneath the confetti lies a question no contract can answer: who is North without an audience? Years of curated clapbacks have built armor so thick it doubles as currency, yet psychologists warn that constant performance rewires identity, likes become the mirror, analytics the compass. When every life milestone premieres in 4K, the line between autonomy and algorithmic obligation blurs until it's practically invisible. Will North feel free to reinvent herself, or will she feel handcuffed to the persona that pays the bills? By 18, she'll gain legal control over contracts inked in her childhood, control that arrives hand in hand with accountability. A tweet once chalked up to tween sass could now sink a partnership. A wardrobe choice once blamed on mom might be criticized as calculating. The safety net of "she's just a kid" disappears, replaced by headlines that judge adult intent. Suddenly the viral edge that made her magnetic could slice both ways, and the same cameras that crowned her could crown a backlash. Meanwhile, Kim's role shifts from director to executive producer, still powerful, but no longer wielding absolute veto over North's choices. That transition could empower North, or leave her navigating a minefield of brand obligations she never consciously chose. Contracts signed in adolescence rarely expire conveniently, they mature into ironclad expectations. Audiences trained on North's candor will demand constant access, and any attempt at privacy might read as betrayal. Fame, like gravity, grows harder to escape the closer you orbit its center. So the real coming-of-age plot twist isn't whether North will headline runways or streaming deals, those feel inevitable. It's whether she'll have the space to experiment, to fail privately, to redraw her own narrative without the ever-present hum of monetization. Because when childhood is collateral and clout is currency, the most radical act at 18 might be whispering no to a camera that's never heard the word. So here we are, 12 candles snuffed out, a corset still cinched tight, and a child perched at the crossroads of innocence and influence. We've sailed the yacht, scrolled the TikToks, decoded the Kris Jenner playbook, and heard Kanye's offbeat alarm bells ringing from the wings. We've mapped a dynasty that can monetize a bedtime story and turn a tantrum into trending audio. Now the question ricochets back to us, the ever-scrolling spectators: is Northwest living a childhood or starring in a prequel? When a tween's every outfit doubles as a focus group test and her every quip feeds a content calendar, do we clap for the glow-up or cringe at the cost? Maybe Kim sees empowerment, maybe Kanye sees exploitation. But what matters most is what North sees when the ring light clicks off and the notifications fade to black. Can she hear her own voice in the hush, or only the echo of an audience that's never met her but still feels entitled to an encore? If you believe children deserve more than curated controversy, let this video be your reminder to double-check the like button before you tap it. If you're all in on the Kardashian marketing machine, know that every click helps tighten the corset just a bit more. Either way, the camera's red light is still on, and North's story is far from wrapped. Stick around, subscribe, and drop your take below. Is this the evolution of modern celebrity, or a cautionary tale in real time? Your comment might be the next receipt when we revisit this saga at 18. Until then, protect your peace, question the feed, and remember, not every childhood milestone belongs on the Explore page.